high winds affecting an area with critical facilities, as the focus for that capability is to clear roads of downed trees to allow access for to critical facilities for both first responders and the community as a whole. So when we look at that high wind from a perspective of route clearance, we see where we're going to see those greatest winds. So when we then jump, we can jump now to rain. So when we talk about the rainfall, this is looking at the highest projections of rain over the next 72 hours. So it's going to continue to grow. It's only covering that kind of 3-day window. We see the rain focused on the eastern portion of the eye. So we're going to see additional impacts there. From a route clearance perspective, we'd be concerned for access and what roads may be cut off for those teams to go in and get to those more high wind areas to focus on. But knowing that from additional capabilities that we have, looking at this area, so highest water accumulation happening kind of east of Baton Rouge, New Orleans area, south of that, and then this is going to continue to move north. Like I said, it's only projecting out kind of 3 days. And finally, also just touching on storm surge. So this is recent modeling specific to the storm. So looking at really that southeastern quadrant of Louisiana, seeing some of those high storm surge potential for additional flooding and impacts to residential properties. So these are kind of generalized areas. I know we're talking about a good portion of southeastern South Louisiana for different wind and rain impacts. We'll continue to evaluate, and as the storm gets closer, continue to kind of push in and get more granular areas of interest that we identify within this greater area that's affected. So as far as, just jumping back here, sheltering, Mississippi is opening some of their sheltering in coastal communities in preparation, as well as in Louisiana as well. As far as evacuation, seeing mandatory evacuations for portions of Jefferson, St. Charles, Plaquemine Parish, as well as in portions of New Orleans for areas outside the levee system. And then within some of those parishes, and then a few additional parishes seeing some voluntary evacuations as well. Mississippi may start initiating evacuations this afternoon as well. There was an emergency declaration approved for Louisiana today. As far as COVID, touching on that and kind of zooming out to the perspective of the US, the darker the pink, this is looking at COVID case density over the last 7 days. So as we can see, especially in the southeastern portion of the US, a lot higher than the rest of the country. And looking at Louisiana, Mississippi specific, seeing those high COVID case counts, as well as hospitalizations and death rates across the country. So those states as well also have some of the lowest vaccination rates in the country, with Louisiana, Mississippi in particular, having less than 50% of people receiving at least one vaccination. So with this storm coming in and impacting these communities, we will see disruptions to testing and vaccination sites, and then potential sheltering, just kind of exacerbating the situation as well related to the pandemic. Just also touching on an overall outlook, we do have another disturbance that did pop up today. Again, way too far out to know its future. These two that we've previously talked about over the last few days, still showing like they're going to go out to sea and not disrupt or be a threat to land at all, but do have this new low pressure system to start monitoring and keeping an eye out for. And then finally, just from a historical perspective, Hurricane Katrina did make landfall. Will be the same date. So this Sunday when Hurricane Ida makes landfall will be the same anniversary date of when Hurricane Katrina did make landfall in that area as well. With that, I will hand it back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Lauren. Lauren, when if it comes on land at a Cat 5 or 4, what are the wind speeds for the that are to be expected?
I mean, right now the projections are showing about 138 miles per hour for those winds. So we're going to look in excess potentially of that if it makes landfall at Cat 4.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go into government relations. So we'll go to Louisiana first.
Hey everyone. So a couple updates for me. Lauren did touch on a lot of the updates that we did receive from GOSEP and FEMA, but I'll mention a couple other things. We do have a governor's press conference will be today at 4:30, so we will have some TR representatives listening in for that one. We did get a couple more information from our representatives with FEMA, letting us know that, again, at this moment, there is only an emergency declaration at this time, not a federal declaration, so any commodities can only be supplied at a local level. So everyone would need to go through the local EOPs, so they let us know about that. There are no current updates with the FEMA mass care representatives. They did again let us know that crisis cleanup is standing up, as well as 211, so ensuring that all VOEDs like ourselves are going through that for resources and needs. There's also a NOSEP NOLA Ready call that will be actually happening at the same time. We do have some local leaders on that call representing TR, letting them know that we are in fact standing up and activating and pre-staging our route clearance team and working with the public parishes for that. So we do have our folks on that call. Again, no, like Lorna mentioned, there's no non-congregate sheltering at this time. And like she mentioned, the evacuation orders that are currently in place. And there will be another VOAD call for folks for the state, which will be next Tuesday at 3 p.m. And we'll make sure that we have a TR representative on that. Other than that, that's it for me. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Evan. We are on to Mississippi, which I think is going to be Kate.
Thanks, Jim. I'll be covering Alabama and Mississippi. At this time, Alabama's EOC is just in an elevated status. They're going to continue to monitor. We have additional VOAD calls with the state of Alabama on Monday. Colton Ritchie, one of our volunteer leaders, is going to continue to monitor the situation as the Alabama EOC continues to make preparations and keep us informed on that. On to Mississippi. The state of Mississippi EOC is currently operating in a virtual status only. They have a crisis action team meeting in the morning at 10 a.m. and then we have a call with their emergency management agency directly after to determine whether or not they're going to stand up an in-person EOC or completely stay virtual. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. The city of Biloxi, as well as the city of Gulfport, have issued mandatory evacuations for their marinas and harbors. Those have to be executed prior to 1500 tomorrow. We're also seeing a lot of school closures, business closures in the Gulfport and Biloxi area. Sandbag stations have been opened for today and tomorrow in Hancock County, as well as Jefferson County and some of, Biloxi, Gulfport, those metro cities. There's over like 25 sandbag stations that are currently active. We have identified some recon assets. We are anticipating additional evacuation orders to start happening this afternoon, and we'll post updates to those as we see them. Naval Station Gulfport has activated to condition of readiness 3, which means that they're going to start shutting down their facilities to exterior personnel. And the city of Biloxi has declared a state of emergency for their city only. Barring any questions, back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Kate. On to Ansel with planning update.
For planning, we are at Ad 1 for the route clearance team, working on getting some final bits of information to get the outboard out by tomorrow. We're working on finalizing the ISR for the recon. I expect to get that approved this afternoon so we can begin working on the recon plan. That's all I've got.
All right, thanks, Ansel. On to field ops, field leadership.
Good evening, everybody. Currently, we're looking at supplying 2 recon teams to go out and look at the area. We have the request for availability out. As of now, there are only 2 personnel that have stepped forward. I suspect as the night goes on that number will increase as people get home and check emails and whatnot. As of right now, we're standing by looking for more people, and that's all we have at this moment.
Thanks, Jeff. On to mobilization, Claudia.
Thank you, Jim. For mobilization, we've mobilized 8 gray shirts to complete the route clearance packet, including 1 task force leader, 1 HESI, 1 HEO2, 1 SOC2, 3 AS1s, and 1 EMT. Those 8 gray shirts are dispatched to stage in Lake Charles, and they will arrive in DFW tomorrow by 1300 to pre-posture.
All All right, thank you. Logistics.
Yeah, so hey everybody, it's Jeremy. I'm here for logistics. Route clearance, tech and med kits are ready to go. Ansel will get you those tech kit numbers here momentarily so you can fill that in for the route clearance. Trailer 650 out of Hammond, Louisiana is being moved to rebuild tomorrow to get it out of the path of the storm. 3 other trailers in the branch are ready to respond once we're ready. We have 3 branch tech kits available. We're working with the Oxford branch tech to identify available national tech kits. And we're also working to identify possible sat phone capability for the recon teams when they do go out. That's all I've got.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Finance.
Yes, John DeToma here, everybody. Shout out to Claudia Suarez for providing me the listing of the folks going out on the route clearance. We scrubbed the PEX card listings, came up with 4 folks that have active cards ready to be funded. So we're waiting for confirmation on who those folks will be as far as how much they will get for each of the I presume we're going to get 2 PEX card holders as well as some petty cash. But once that is confirmed, we'll go ahead and proceed with that. I just earlier before this call, I got some information for some fuel cost estimates for the route clearance group. So I'll be posting that later this evening. Other than that, back to you folks.
Thanks, John. On to, I believe it is Morgan with Marcoms.
Thanks. So we have reached out to local and national news outlets to notify them that we're ready to go in the area. Fox Weather is looking to do an interview on the ground Monday, so we're working on that. We've got 2 photographers on standby for Monday at the earliest, and we've sent out a social media post that we're monitoring the inbound storm. And that's it.
Thanks, Morgan. DevOps, I believe Danielle.
Yep, it's me. So we're doing large outreach to the Gulf Coast donors from both strategic partnerships and institutional giving. Munich RE may support with more money, and we need to, and we're actually taking a look at Popeyes. Jasmine and Molly, our MGOs out in the South, are doing outreach in preparation for IDA's landing, continuing to share information with donors. And we're also sending out our monitoring notifications to donors later today. And that's it from Dev.
Thanks, Danielle. Okay, we're going to open it up to questions. If there's a question of something you missed or something we didn't cover, please raise your hand. All right. Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on to, oh, John, yes. You're muted, John.
Damn it. I'm wearing my wrong shirt. I said I'm muted, but anyway, well earned, I might add. Yeah, lodging. I'm not sure if MOB is going to be setting that up or whether that is going to be up to us.
Yes, John, we're taking care of it and we're working on it right now.
Thank you much. Thank you.
Very good. All right, we'll go to leadership update. We'll go through Drew.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. You're going to hear this probably all weekend long, but the more intense and the larger the storm gets, the more important local connections are going to be. We need that information. We need to know those points of contact and who you're talking to so that we can connect the folks on the ground and get them in there as quickly as necessary, or as quickly as possible to do what is necessary. So please, please, please continue to document and push that information. The form is in the MPT thread. Really appreciate everybody coming together on this. As you can see, we got a lot of folks assembling here, the National Operations Center, but from here it's just going to be driving a lot of impact down to Louisiana and Mississippi. So let's make it happen.
Yeah, and I'll follow up on that and just say, we've made contacts at the state and the city levels, the major cities. So South Branch leaders, as you're out there, start looking into the coastal communities, making contacts there, reporting those contacts up, and then seeing where we can have some impact there. Keep going. the big thing is don't let perfection get in the way of action. So go for that 80% solution, and the bias is to action. So I'll push it up to Jeff if he's on. Jeff Byers, not Branham.
Yeah, team, echo the thanks. Just understand, you know, this storm is definitely, Jeff, if you want to cover it, man, I didn't want to, I mean, you know, but, you know, this storm is, it's going to grow. You know, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have a lot of our citizens very much impacted. We're going to have communities, not just on the coast, but as you see this go through Baton Rouge, Mississippi, we're going to have gray shirts in harm's way up in Tennessee. So, you know, it's going to be a dynamic and moving, you know, event. Bias for action, as Jim alluded to, and y'all know all too well, is going to be our theme. Communicate early and often. Let's don't let limiting factors just sit out there. They don't cure themselves. So, you know, put it into a larger group. You know, I am of the belief that many can come to the solution way more than one. So, you know, we have that here. So let's just keep driving, and I appreciate all the work, appreciate the commitment, and the citizens definitely will. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Art, for a wrap up.
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing is to say thank you, you know, to the folks, Ansel, John, you know, the entire team that has participated in this planning process. The team is on the field, and we're just waiting for the game to start, and it essentially has started today with this. Understand there's a lot going on, as Jeff talked about. You know, this storm will impact the team that you have launched in Tennessee. So, you know, all of this will overlap. It will overlap with all we've done for COVID preparations and how we mitigate what's happening there. But my sense is this one could be a big one. Let's remember to act today. If you have family or friends, or you're within the path of this storm, ensure that you're encouraging the preparations that, again, allow people to weather the storm, so to say, to be safe. So don't fail to take a little time there to remind people that preparation in wake of a real storm is here. And the final note is take care of yourselves, please, because this is, we're sprinting now, and then we'll pick up a pace that is going to impact communities across this entire area. So thank you for putting on the shoes and booking out the door, because you're the secret sauce behind this all. Let us know what you need.
Very cool. Thanks, Art. That's it for today. We'll see you 23 hours and 40 minutes from now. Same bat channel, same bat time. So thanks for everything you're doing.